None of that addresses Jack swapping out your alerts with his ex's voice. Stay focused. That's weak, and you know it. All right, Jack, nephew. Bring it home. Tell me why swapping out that voice wasn't the move. Real talk. We have another objection. Make your objection count. Challenge the relevance. Point out the nonsense or expose the fluff. Objection overruled. Look, nephew, just because something sounds wild doesn't mean it didn't happen. Jack's talking about his own family. That's his truth to tell, you dig? You can't just throw out somebody's words because they sound strange. Now, Jack, keep it straight, though. Stick to what matters in this case. We ain't here to debate anybody's relatives. Courtroom crew, I'm gonna be real. I'm not sure if we just finished a trial or an improv comedy show. Some of what I heard today had me leaning forward. Some of it had me leaning back. And a couple bits had me wondering if y'all were in the same case. But either way, my gavel's ready. And I'm about to call it. Look, this case has been all over the place like a tumbleweed in the desert. Dominic came in talking about emotional damage, but couldn't even stay focused on what happened. Jack, meanwhile, kept throwing everything but the kitchen sink at the wall. But here's the real talk. Jack actually did the deed. He hacked that system and swapped those alerts with his ex's voice. That's facts. Dominic's case was weak, scattered, and hard to follow. But the core issue remains. Jack played himself by being just as unfocused in his defense. However, looking at what actually went down, Jack's offense is clearer than Dominic's damage claim. I'm ruling in favor of Jack on this one, nephew. All right, Dominic, nephew, you came in here swinging but missed the mark. Jack might have been messy with his defense, but he didn't owe you a dime. Here's what's happening. You're wearing a giant Chick-fil-A chicken head for the rest of the day. Every time you think about those sandwiches, that beak's gonna remind you to keep it real next time. Gavel down, we out.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Snoop. You may be seated. Courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. Snoop Dogg's court. All rise for the Honorable Judge Snoop. You may be seated. Courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. Snoop Dogg's courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. What? Push and shove and they nudge you. Call you out and they judge you. Filed a case and it bugged you. Now you're sitting in front of Judge Snoop. Came in as the plaintiff, no witness for the defendant. Smiling and you grinning, cause this case you think you winning. Courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. Snoop Dogg's courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. Objection. Overruled. All rise for the Honorable Judge Snoop. You may be seated. Courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. Snoop Dogg's courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. What? Push and shove and they nudge you. Call you out and they judge you. Filed a case and it bugs you. Now you're sitting in front of Judge Snoop. Came in as the plaintiff.
Welcome to Courtroom Chaos, featuring Judge Snoop Dogg, the Dogfather himself. We're building the case on the spot, so you can use the most ridiculous arguments to make sense of it. Plaintiff and defendant, grab your phones and tell the court what makes you special, or all warm and fuzzy on the inside. We'll tailor a completely original trial, made just for you.
Something about what you shared don't sit straight, and I think you know what I'm talking. You'll dance to my music here on out. Keeping it church. Good to see everybody here. It's Judge Snoop, bringing a little West Coast breeze to the halls of justice. You tell the truth, I'll keep it fair, and we'll all walk out of here feeling right. Now, on to the case. All right, check it. Dominic rolls up to a food court hunting for some chicken nuggets, right? Meanwhile, Robert the librarian is there doing crossword puzzles at a table nearby. Robert snaps photos of Dominic mid-chew, looking absolutely ridiculous with sauce everywhere, then tags him all over social media. Now Dominic's claiming his reputation got damaged and wants $2.8 million. That's cold, my G. Facts delivered. Now let's get this party started with opening statements. All right, Dominic, lay it down for me. What's your beef with Robert and these photos that got you all twisted up? All right, nephew, that's a lot of casualties from some chicken nugget photos. Your dog left you, though? That's wild. I hear the pain, but we gonna need some real specifics on how a food court photo cost you all that. Right now, it's feelings, not facts, you dig? All right, Robert, let's hear your side. How you gonna defend yourself against these $2.8 million chicken nugget allegations? Hold up, nephew. You roll in here talking about wanting milk from a VTuber instead of addressing why you photographed Dominic eating chicken nuggets and blasted it online. That ain't an opening statement. That's a distraction. Stay focused, my G. Hi, Dominic, nephew. Let me ask you something real. When that photo went up, what was going through your head? And real talk, walk me through how that chicken nugget moment spiraled into losing your job and your girl. What was the timeline looking like for you? Our first objection, will it be sustained or overruled? To throw that testimony out, focus on relevance, logic, or lack of evidence. Don't just disagree, disprove, or disqualify. Objection overruled. Dominic's saying Robert posted photos that cost him his job, his girl, and even his dog bounced. That's what happens when you get caught slipping on social media, nephew. Robert, you're reaching harder than a baby in a crib. The man's describing the fallout from your camera work. That's observable damage, and it's on record. All right, Robert, I need you to paint me a picture with your words right now. Tell the court artist exactly what you saw when you caught Dominic at that food court. We talking full sauce catastrophe or what? Walk us through it, nephew. What did those eyes of yours actually witness? Well, that was a statement for the ages. Let's start shaking this picture to reflect what you just said. Yo, nephew, hold up. Cats eating meat and drinking milk while bottling you? That ain't got nothing to do with chicken nuggets and social media photos. This exhibit the court artist gonna draw looks like a fever dream, and it don't help your case one bit, Robert. You're talking about cats when we're talking about reputation damage. Stay focused. Hold up now. Are you keeping it 100 with me? Or just spicing up the story to make yourself look good? Hold up, nephew. Robert, that statement right there was wilder than a nature documentary. Cats bottling you? Milk getting stolen? Help me understand. What exactly went down at that food court that day? Keep it straight with me. We have another objection. Make your objection count. Challenge the relevance. Point out the nonsense or expose the fluff. Objection sustained. Robert's talking about cats in the mall and getting bottled by dairy products. Nephew, that ain't adding up to nothing real. Dominic, you caught him spinning fiction when we're supposed to be dealing with what actually happened at that food court. Robert, stick to the truth. You dig? All right, nephew, we at the finish line now. Time for closing statements. Dominic, lay it down for me one last time. Tell this court why Robert's photo shoot was foul and why justice needs to be served. You dig? Look, nephew, I hear the pain in that statement, but you've been running on emotion this whole trial. You gotta give me something solid to work with, not just heartbreak. Your dog leaving hurts, I get it. But where's the connection to Robert's photos? That's what I need. All right, Robert, bring it on home for me. Tell this courtroom why them nugget photos ain't deserved no 2.8 million, cuz. This is Snoop's court, and we're keeping close to the case, you feel me? This case has had it all. Big swings, bold words, a couple surprises, and a whole lot of personality. You all brought your best to the table, and I respect that. But all good things come to an end, and the end of this case is my verdict. All right, listen up. Dominic came in here talking about job loss, breakups, and a dog leaving town, but couldn't connect those dots to Robert's photos with any real clarity. Robert's defense was scattered, talking about cats and intoxication instead of addressing the actual claims. But here's the thing, nephew. Dominic's case fell apart when the evidence didn't line up. Robert may have been evasive, but Dominic didn't prove his damages came from those food court photos. The math ain't mathing on this one. All right, Robert, you crossed the line turning a man's lunch into content without permission. You owe Dominic 2.8 million, straight up. Now here's your exit. I want you shuffling out of here in slow motion while the saddest library music plays. Those crossword puzzles tumbling behind you like your reputation. That's the penalty for playing with people's lives. Gavel down, we done here.
All rise for the Honorable Judge Snoop. You may be seated. Court Courtroom chaos, chaos, chaos. Snoop Dogg's courtroom chaos, chaos. All rise for the Honorable Judge Snoop. You may be seated.